A heavy rainstorm causes an entire building to sink thousands of meters underground. All the survivors could only go to the rooftop to see if they could call for help. However, due to the extreme distance from the ground, their phones couldn't receive any signal. By this time, the rescue team had already started searching the caves below. But because the recently collapsed soil was very loose, they had to temporarily give up this method. So the police first sent drones down to investigate the situation. But when the drone had only descended halfway, it lost control due to poor signal and fell, landing right on the building's rooftop. Seeing the fallen drone, everyone realized that people outside were trying to rescue them. Just then, the fallen drone regained signal and flew up again. The police quickly understood the situation below from the drone's video footage. They then dropped living supplies and a phone. When the man answered the phone, his wife said their son had also fallen down. Hearing that his son was also buried below at this moment, the man instantly panicked. The police told them to stay put and wait for rescue. To save his son, the father couldn't care less. He pulled out the electrical wires from the wall, tied them around his body, and slid down along the elevator cable, landing directly on top of the elevator. He then cleared away the mud above and crawled in. He searched for his son in the debris. Just then, a faint response came from the ruins. He pried open the pipe to check, and unexpectedly, his son was right inside. Just as the man was about to escape with his son in his arms, an old man called out to them from behind. The man wanted to escape with the old man, but the old man turned to look at the tent behind him. It turned out his grandson had unfortunately died in this accident, and he didn't want to leave his grandson behind. The old man cut off a lock of his grandson's hair and handed it to the man, hoping he could deliver the hair to the boy's mother. Then, the father climbed up bit by bit along the fire pipeline with his son on his back. Although he nearly lost his life several times along the way, the man ultimately managed to safely rescue his son. However, all the rainwater outside had rushed in. If they didn't find a way to leave this place soon, they would all drown. Just then, a large barrel suddenly floated out from the corner. They could hide inside it to escape. But now, another big problem lay before them. They had to leave one person behind to put the lid on, which meant someone had to sacrifice themselves. At this point, the boy ultimately chose to sacrifice himself to save everyone. After putting the lid on, the boy pushed the barrel out. Right then, the giant building above suddenly collapsed. The barrel was hit and lifted up. When it passed by some electrical wires, it got tangled. The people inside seemed to sense something was wrong. He told everyone to hit the barrel to break free from the wires. The barrel soon broke free. Unexpectedly, the barrel was then punctured by steel bars. A large amount of rainwater poured in. Everyone desperately pressed against the steel bars, trying to push them out, but they were inserted too deep to move. Just then, the boy swam up from below. He kicked the barrel hard from the outside, finally kicking it out. However, because the opening was too large, water from outside kept pouring in. At the critical moment, the man punched outwards. The circumference of his arm just happened to block the opening. The boy outside wanted to grab his right hand, but the barrel's buoyancy was too great to catch up. As he was about to sink to the bottom of the water, exhausted, the electrical wire hanging on the barrel accidentally caught his thigh and pulled him up together. The boy had narrowly escaped death.